Será tu sonrisa. Será tu sonrisa. Alright, let's see if we get some people on here. Yo. Alright, cool. Why does it only show me one person? And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you that commented, and it only shows one person watching. That's weird. Oh, there you go. I just updated. Okay. Alright, cool. So we're gonna get started. Looks like it's gonna be a crazy week. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to put some gems so we can lock in. I have the other phone over there. I actually gotta keep the chat open. Damn it. Alright, cool. Screw it. Alright, let's start off. So let's go to the previous month. I guess we're already counting November today, which pretty much makes sense. So previous month high. Previous month high here. Our previous month low. Cool. So previous month low. Okay, cool. Let's go to the weekly real quick. Our previous week high up here. Previous week high. Seems like that's what we rejected. No, Apollo, lay down. Come here. Come lay down. Come here. You were bothering to come inside. Now you come. Now you stay in. Previous week low here. All right. Okay, cool. So we have so far our monthly and our levels marked up. Hold on 1 second. I'm about to whoop his ass. Nah, just kidding. I'm about to let him out. Come on. Good boy. Bro, be gone, child. Better not scratch the door. I promise I'm not gonna let you in, man. It's just too bright if I opened it for you. It'd be like vampires in here. Alright. Okay, cool. So we got the previous week low. Let's go into the daily. So if we look at the weekly, right? We went over this last week. I explained to you guys what this was, right? This right here is our inside weekly. So this was our inside weekly. We broke below the low. This is all a retest to continue lower in larger time frame, unless we break above the previous month high, which would be the break of the inside weekly high as well. All right. So we broke the low. This is a nice retest. If we look at the daily, we see this beautiful buy to sell model, right? We had this whole manipulate up move without any retest, so we know what usually happens with moves like this. So now we filled the whole daily imbalance on ES, right? We're rejecting. If we go in our 4 hour here, we currently just shifted back to the downside on the 4 hour. We broke below the 4 hour low. These are our previous high. We broke above those highs. We formed new lows. We broke that support. So now old support turns to new resistance. So we have a buy to sell on the 4 hour. And then, let's put this here. A buy to sell on the 4 hour. And we also now can just mark up our fibs for a retest, right? And then see if we're going to come and retest during London session. So what I'm expecting to happen is a retest here during the London session. So this would be our 4 hour 50%. This would be our optimal here. 4 hour. And then we'll break it down small time frame right now. See if we can find some more pieces of confluence here. So this here, I don't know if you guys saw on the Discord, I tagged my mentees. So the reason I tagged my mentees was because this was what we went over. I had a class on Saturday with them. We went over the setup here and it looked good for longs, and I told them, look, we won't look to go long if the 15-minute low breaks, because that's going to have a sign of continuation to the low. What happened? Broke, retest it, continuation to the low, right? 64.46. So that's the reason I shorted into the previous day low. So we're gonna mark up our daily high, which this is our previous day low. This is my TP. I took it on NQ, but you'll see the chart right now. It's already charted up on NQ. Previous day low, and then my previous day high is same as my previous week high. So I can just put a little slash previous day high, and then make it white. Cool. All right. All right. So now we know that the 4 hours bearish has shifted. I now want to see a retest to continue to the downside to target this next low here, right? This is what I'll be looking for ES, and I'll show you guys NQ in a little bit. This is my next target of liquidity here, 4 hour low. Okay, cool. Let's go to the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, we have this whole gap that we want to come and fill here. Let's go look at the 30 minute. Let's go look at the 15 minute real quick. On the 15 minute, we do have this order block here. We do have this breaker here. Let's say we have it on a 15. Cool. So I will use the 15-minute breaker here as my resistance zones, and it matches with my optimal premium zone. So this here for me will be my 15-minute BB as in my breaker. This is where I expect a rejection. It needs to stay below that on the 15-minute time frame. So into tomorrow, we do have news 30 minutes after open. I want to see those news have a reaction to these levels. It's either, you know, break back above the highs, continuation into previous month high, come and retest these levels here and have a shift to the downside on the smaller time frame. We'll look for continuation to the downside to this next low here, right? So that's my game plan into this, and if that breaks, then we are going to target the previous week low. Cool. Other than that, for me on the daily, I can't chart up any fibs because we haven't broken above on the daily time frame. So that's for ES here. Let's go ahead and look at NQ now. So if we look at NQ, take a little sip of my water. I mean, my water, bro. I'm drinking milk. All right. So like I said, I already had this charted up. So my game plan for this to my mentees on Saturday, I told them, I was like, look, it looks bullish on the 1 hour. It looks bullish on the 4 hour. But then we are now at the daily order block zone, which is a rejection. We now filled the whole daily inverse fair value gap as well. And this is a great area where we expect a rejection, right? So what I did was I waited for the 15-minute low to break, waited for a retest, and then we caught it on the retest of the 5-minute imbalance here and continue down lower, right? I took it once here, then I took it again on the retest here to continue lower because like I said, it was 34 minutes left for the 4 hour at the time when I alerted on the Discord. So I wanted to see that break on the 4 hour, and which is what we got now. So now I can adjust my fibs from my high to my low on my 4 hour time frame, right? Let's go look at the 1 hour. Cool, we haven't made a new low. So I can just move it down to my 50%. Expect the reaction into here. Now, I'm not going to go, this live is not going to go full details of my strategy of, you know, what to wait for when these levels hit. That's what I, you know, teach you guys every day. I don't want to do that every single day, and I don't have the energy today. But just know, if you guys been with me for a while, just know that this here, we're going to wait for these levels, and then we're going to wait for confirmation to the downside again to take shorts. So if you know, you know, right? If you don't know, just kind of watch the other videos I put up, that we can follow along a little bit better. But yeah, so we'll just wait for that. I can delete these here because we didn't bounce off these on the 4, which were the bounce zones. So we can see that. We can remove this. That support didn't hold. That support didn't hold. This is a previous day low. So as long as we stay below the previous day low, we will continue to the next 4 hour zone here. Let's go look at the hourly. Let's look at the 30 minute. Let's look at the 15 minute. We do know that if we break below, we broke below for continuation, this is going to be our 15-minute internal high. If that breaks, it's going to target this high here. So 15-minute high here, minute high. All right, cool. All right, so pretty much just wait for a retest into the zones here and expect a rejection, or continue it for, or just wait for it to continue lower And then tomorrow during New York session, after we have the news 30 minutes after open, we can have a decent move. So for NQ, continuation of the daily order block rejection, and previous week high sweep and rejecting with the previous day high as well. 4 hour shifted. Now we want to see a retest of the structure shift to the downside to continue lower. And like I said, we also have a buy to sell model here. Boom, boom, boom. Right. I did see Bitcoin was selling off a little bit because some news popped up. So I believe it was at 80. Yep. So like 80 something. So let's go ahead and chart it up. So let's go on the weekly real quick. I already gave the TP levels for Bitcoin. So this is now we just kind of watch. So previous week low, right? Previous week low here. Previous week high here. Right, cool. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, and then we have a if the chat, what is this? Look at the weekly and tell me what that is. I'm gonna give you guys 5 seconds. Let me see if you guys got it. Okay, it's a little 15-second delay, so I'm gonna give you guys 20 seconds. What do you guys see on the weekly? What do y'all see? Let's see if you guys been learning. Anyone want to take a guess? By the time you guys guess, I'm gonna have the answer written, so just guess it. Let's see if you guys can get it. Inside weekly. It's an inside weekly high. I don't know if anyone answered, but it's an inside weekly high, inside weekly low. Cool. So now on the daily, we are below that. This is our previous week low. If we can break this on the 4 hour, then that's a great confirmation to continue to the downside. So we'll just set that alert there. What a nasty sell-off. 4,000, almost 5,000 instances. There you go, Mihar. You answered it correctly. Okay, let's look at QQ and then SPY, and then we're done here. Okay, so look. Oh shit. We had bounced off the weekly imbalance that we had here. Weekly imbalance, bounced off that. Pretty strong weekly candle, right? But we also broke the outside daily low here. Sorry, the inside weekly. Okay, let's go ahead and let's just delete these here. Yeah, that was a sweep. Okay. So previous day low, it's right here. Previous day high, it's right here. Cool. YouTube has a delayed D1 only. YouTube has a 15 to 30-second delay. Okay, so on the daily time frame, right, we're bullish. Well, we're not bullish. We break above this high here, but a bullish trend, right? We held this here. I'd want to see a 4 hour close below this low, and that'll give me super high confidence to short it. 4 hour low here. Remember, none of this financial advice, but this is just what my opinion is and how I'll be trading this. Wait for a break below that, or wait for a break above previous day high and target this high here on the 1 hour high. So pretty simple here. Nothing really to really chart up for me. Don't care too much for it. Let's go into SPY. So if we go into SPY, let's delete some things here. Same thing, retesting on the daily, a little buy to sell. I don't know if you guys can see it. Boom. Okay, that was all right. Let's see. All right, so if we start on the weekly, previous month low, we broke on the dailies. It's just a retest. Okay, let's delete this real quick. So we're at the weekly, previous week low, right? previous week low, set my alert here, previous week high, previous week high, right? Okay, if we go into the daily, this is my previous day low. The lowest point you went the day prior, so break below that. We'll look for continuation to the downside. My previous week lows same as my previous day high, so I'll just mark that up white. Let's look at the 4 hour. If I'm to look for retest, we can expect a retest at the 50%, which is 676.04. So what I do see, okay, look, okay, you see how this makes sense. So what I see happening here for QQ for SPY into tomorrow is, we gap down overnight, in my opinion. Two scenarios. We gap down overnight, and then at the open with the news, we push up to retest that gap up and then continue selling off all week, right? That's what it looks like is going to happen. Or if we come in retest NQ and ES overnight, right? ES and NQ retest overnight, then at the open, SPY and QQ will push into these retest zones here. So prepare to play both sides, like always, right? But those are two scenarios here. It all just depends what NQ and ES does overnight. If we get the retest during London session, then tomorrow I'm just going to be looking for continuation after the news, right? Pretty simple as that. That's all I'll be looking for. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple, nothing more to it. I'm not going to complicate my life tomorrow. Just going to be done with it. I already caught a little quick scalp on some accounts, so tomorrow I just need to trade a little bit more on other ones, and we're set. If we can break below this hourly low, we will continue down lower. Cool. So let's go back to NQ, and then we will be done. So for NQ, like I said again, either we continue selling off into this next low here, 25.119, and then tomorrow morning with the news, we push up to retest, which we're going to retest this beautiful buy to sell model. Cool, pretty straightforward. I'll give you guys a couple minutes if you guys have any questions. But yeah, that's pretty much it for NQ and ES here. That's the reason I shorted it. The reason I shorted NQ was honestly that I even slept on here because I was like, I was hesitant about it. I didn't want to trade tonight. I really didn't. So we swept the previous week high. So I was like, okay, my alert went off when we hit it. I was like, cool, I'll come back and check in like an hour or 2 hours. An hour went by. I was like, okay, cool. My 15-minute low went off too. So an hour after open, right after an hour after open, my alert went off again. It was a 15-minute low. And then I waited for it to break. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll just take the retest and I'll just risk the breaker of it. Caught it there. Then on the other ones, caught it here, down and back into the lower day. But other than that, that was pretty much it. I could have caught the top if I would have focused on rejecting and then 5-minute break and retest. Because it broke, it retested the buy to sell in the 5-minute after sweeping the liquidity, and it stayed below the 5-minute high that caused the break to the downside to continue lower, right? Mentees, you guys understand this. This was my last up move that caused a break below this low here with this candle. So close above this high would have invalidated my thesis of shorts, and it would want to target the high a day again. But as we broke down, closed below previous day high, closed below previous day high, previous week high, closed below the daily open, the weekly open, had a shift on the 5-minute, retested the buy to sell on the 5-minute. All those pieces of confidence added up why shorts were valid for me, and that is exactly why I took that trade. Remember, trading is about probability and risk. How probable and how high was the probability on that setup to work out? Pretty high. Why? Because all those pieces of confidence lined up for me, and like I said, time frames always work in a domino effect. So seeing the larger time frame reject, seeing these smaller time frame shift to the downside to target the larger time frame to shift, which it did now in the 4 hour, it's a great sign of continuation. So now my job is just to be patient into tomorrow, wait for a retest, wait for the setup to come to me, meaning tomorrow and tonight, do you have to trade this here to the downside? No, because we can bounce at any moment to give you the retest that we need to continue to the downside in a healthy situation, right? Maybe some crazy news comes out, maybe some manipulating because we sell off crazy. It's okay. You missed the move, you missed the move. But if I could genuinely get the retest that I want, to have the healthy retest to come in back and fill all the gaps they left behind. Remember, I always say, I don't want to leave no gaps left unfilled, right? Because then at some point, it's going to push up either some news or something. Something's going to push it up there at some point. But if we can leave them all filled, then that just tells you strong momentum, and strong bearish thesis to the downside. Simple as that. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or two with that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the overview. I will be trading live tomorrow. I know I don't trade Mondays, but there is news. It is a red folder, and it is a beautiful setup. So you guys are lucky. I will be on live tomorrow. I always take Mondays off, but when I see it like this, a beautiful setup, I just have to. It's given to me. But I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes if you guys have questions, just because I know YouTube's a little delayed. And this is why I'm happy that a majority of probably you are there on YouTube live right now. You guys are probably already in my Discord, so this is the delay you don't have to worry about. This is why I always tell people, if you want to, start for free and learn free, go through YouTube. But you're gonna have some issues. You're gonna have delays. Discord, as it's happening, you're there. But YouTube, you have a big delay. So consider yourself lucky, motherfuckers. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'll let you guys ask, and then that'll be pretty much it. I won't make a video. I won't post it because it's gonna be recorded anyway, so you guys can just go back and watch it. But pretty simple setup. What time is it? 9:39. I'll give you guys to like 9:42 to ask me some questions if you guys have questions. And the chat's kind of delayed too on YouTube. I realized that. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. But pretty good. Let me see who I can't. And the thing is, I can't even see who views these. Let me see if you are there's I think so far it shows 30 people on here. If you're watching on YouTube, comment on Discord. I want to see who joined it. I want to see who's really hungry for this shit, man. That's what I want to see. Damn, this is delayed so bad. This is delayed like at least a minute. Okay, bet. Damn, this delayed a minute. That's crazy. Okay, cool. All right. But yeah, I'll leave you guys with that. Other than that, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Take care, and we'll bank tomorrow. I'll be live on the Discord tomorrow, so don't worry. You guys won't have to worry about the delays. You guys are good. All right, guys. Peace out. Take care.